Not every island is a tropical getaway. Some are so off-limits that even trying to visit could get you arrested. Or worse. Maybe it's because they're crawling with creatures that could end you in seconds, guarding ancient secrets no one's supposed to uncover, or hiding something dark governments would rather keep buried. Well, whatever the reason, these 15 islands are locked down tight. But rules were made to be questioned, so let's find out what they don't want us to see. Number 15. Niihau, Hawaii's Forbidden Island. Hawaii's got stunning beaches, luau's, and tourists in floral shirts, but not on Niihau. Known as the Forbidden Island, this private paradise has been sealed off from the outside world since 1864. Owned by the Robinson family, Niihau operates on a completely different timeline, one without cars, internet, or modern distractions. Its 170 residents live much like their ancestors did, speaking Hawaiian and preserving traditions untouched by commercialism. Getting in? Good luck. Unless you're invited by the Robinsons, your only glimpse of Niihau will be from a helicopter tour. Even fishermen approaching its shores are turned away. The ban on outsiders has been in place since 1952 to protect the island's culture and community from external influences. In a world obsessed with modernization, Niihau stands as a rare, living time capsule, a place where the aloha spirit exists in its purest form. And honestly, maybe some places are better left undisturbed. Number 14. Faroe Islands. The Faroe Islands aren't just another stop on a travel bucket list. They're a living postcard of rugged cliffs, rolling green pastures, and untouched beauty. Floating in the North Atlantic between Scotland and Iceland, this self-governing territory of Denmark has a distinct charm. Sheep outnumber people, and nature is king. While visitors are welcome, some parts of the Faroes are strictly off-limits. Certain areas, especially bird nesting sites, are protected to preserve the delicate ecosystem. This balance between accessibility and conservation makes the islands unique, where tradition, nature, and modern life coexist in perfect harmony. From the dramatic sea cliffs of Survagsvatn to the quaint turf-roofed houses of Gjogv, every inch of the Faroes tells a story. Locals fiercely protect their homeland, ensuring that paradise stays paradise. Visitors are encouraged to explore, but are reminded to respect the land because here, nature isn't just admired, it's sacred. Number 13. Ramree Island. Some islands are off-limits because of their history, some because of their secrets. Ramree Island is off-limits because it will eat you alive. Tucked off Myanmar's coast, this swampy land is home to thousands of saltwater crocodiles, some of the most aggressive and deadly predators on the planet. But that's not the only thing making Ramree infamous. During World War II, the island became the site of one of the most horrific animal attacks in history. As Japanese soldiers retreated into the mangroves, they found themselves surrounded, not by enemy forces, but by hungry crocodiles. The massacre was so brutal that it landed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest crocodile attack on humans ever recorded. Today, Ramree remains largely uninhabitable. Between the lurking crocs, the unpredictable terrain, and Myanmar's ongoing military conflicts, stepping foot here is a terrible idea. Some places are dangerous by nature. On Ramree, nature makes the rules, and humans don't stand a chance. Number 12. North Sentinel Island, India. Some places aren't just off-limits, they're downright dangerous. North Sentinel Island, hidden in the Bay of Bengal, is home to the Sentinelese, one of the last uncontacted tribes on Earth. They've spent thousands of years fiercely rejecting outsiders, not out of hostility, but as a means of survival. Even a common cold could wipe out their entire population, thanks to zero immunity to modern diseases. That's why the Indian government has drawn an invisible yet unbreakable line around the island, enforcing strict no-entry laws. Approaching isn't just illegal, it's a gamble. Fishermen who have accidentally drifted too close have never been seen again. In 2018, a U.S. missionary tried to make friends and was tragically killed. Even low-flying helicopters have been met with arrows, a clear message: stay away. For the Sentinelese, isolation isn't just a preference, it's survival. And for the rest of us, it's a stark reminder that some secrets are best left untouched. Number 11. Gruinard Island, Scotland. At first glance, Gruinard Island looks like an ordinary, peaceful Scottish isle. But beneath the rolling green hills lies a chilling past, one laced with biological warfare. During World War II, the British government used this island as a testing ground for anthrax, a lethal bacteria designed for war. The results? Devastating. The soil became so contaminated that the island was considered uninhabitable for decades. It wasn't until the 1980s that scientists attempted to decontaminate the land, dousing it with formaldehyde in hopes of neutralizing the deadly spores. By 1990, Gruinard was declared safe, but the island's grim history lingers. Visitors are still strongly discouraged from setting foot on it. After all, can you really scrub away something as deadly as anthrax? Gruinard serves as a haunting reminder that playing with biological weapons comes with consequences, and that some scars, even those on land, never truly heal. Number 10. Snake Island, Brazil. Ever wondered what would happen if you took an island and handed it over entirely to snakes? Meet Ilha da Queimada Grande, better known as Snake Island, a place so dangerous that even the Brazilian Navy won't let you near it. Why? Because it's the only home of the golden lancehead viper, a snake so venomous it can melt human flesh. That's not an exaggeration. Its venom is 5 times stronger than its mainland relatives, making it one of the deadliest in the world. According to legend, the island's last human residents, a lighthouse keeper and his family, met a gruesome fate after a swarm of snakes slithered into their home. Today, the only visitors allowed are select scientists who study the island's unique ecosystem, and even they go in heavily prepared, with doctors on standby. For everyone else, Snake Island remains strictly off-limits, proving that sometimes nature makes the rules and breaks anyone who tries to challenge them. Number 9. Bikini Atoll. Bikini Atoll may sound like a tropical paradise, but its history is anything but idyllic. Between 1946 and 1958, this remote Pacific island became a nuclear testing ground for the United States, witnessing 23 atomic bomb detonations. The most infamous was Operation Castle Bravo in 1954, a hydrogen bomb 1,000 times more powerful than Hiroshima's, leaving the atoll uninhabitable. The explosion forced the evacuation of 167 residents who were promised they could return, only to be permanently displaced due to lingering radiation. Efforts to resettle the island failed, and while experts now claim Bikini Atoll is safe for short visits, radiation still contaminates the food and water. Despite its tragic past, nature is reclaiming the land. In 2010, it was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a haunting reminder of humanity's most destructive experiments. Today, Bikini Atoll stands as a cautionary tale about the cost of scientific progress and the scars it leaves behind. Number 8. The Tomb of Qin Shi Huang. Deep beneath a mound of earth in Xi'an, China lies one of history's most enigmatic secrets, the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. It's said to contain rivers of liquid mercury, deadly traps, and unimaginable treasures, but for over 2,000 years, it has remained sealed and untouched. Why? Because no one dares open it. When archaeologists unearthed the terracotta army nearby in 1974, they realized they had only scratched the surface. Chinese records describe booby traps and toxic mercury levels so high that even modern technology struggles to handle them. The government has imposed a strict ban on excavation, fearing irreparable damage to both the tomb and its historical significance. For now, the resting place of China's most powerful ruler remains locked in mystery, a buried time capsule of an empire that once ruled the world. Some secrets, it seems, are meant to stay hidden. Number 7. The Grand Shrine of Ise. Some places are timeless, and the Grand Shrine of Ise is proof. Unlike ancient temples that stand unchanged for centuries, this sacred Shinto shrine is completely rebuilt every 20 years, a tradition dating back over 1,300 years. Why? Because in Shinto belief, renewal is essential. Nothing lasts forever. Dedicated to Amaterasu, the sun goddess, Ise Shrine is the most important religious site in Japan. Built from carefully selected cypress wood, its reconstruction is an intricate ritual passed down through generations of master craftsmen. But here's the catch. Its inner sanctum is completely off-limits. Only Shinto priests and the Japanese imperial family are allowed inside, keeping its true beauty hidden from the world. For visitors, the surrounding shrines and nature trails offer a glimpse into Japan's deep spiritual roots. But the heart of Ise remains a sacred mystery, reminding us that some traditions aren't meant to be seen, only honored. Number 6. The Church of St. Mary of Zion. Hidden in Axum, Ethiopia, the Church of St. Mary of Zion holds a secret so sacred that only one man is allowed to see it. According to legend, this church houses the Ark of the Covenant, the golden chest said to contain the 10 Commandments given to Moses. But here's the mystery. No one can verify if it's really there. A single monk, known as the Guardian of the Ark, dedicates his life to protecting it. He never leaves the church grounds, never speaks to outsiders, and no successor is chosen until he dies. The Ark remains locked away in a small chapel, unseen by anyone but the Guardian himself. No photographs, no records, only faith. Whether the Ark is real, a replica, or a pure legend, the Church's undying devotion to its mystery makes it one of the most fascinating and untouchable relics in the world. Some say faith doesn't need proof, and here, that belief reigns supreme. Number 5. The Doomsday Vault. In the icy wilderness of Svalbard, Norway, buried deep within a mountainside, lies humanity's ultimate insurance policy, the Global Seed Vault, better known as the Doomsday Vault. Built to withstand wars, climate disasters, and even nuclear fallout, this underground fortress is designed to protect the future of food in case of global catastrophe. Inside, over 1.3 million seed samples from around the world are carefully stored at -18 degrees Celsius, ensuring they remain viable for centuries. These seeds include everything from staple crops to rare plant species, acting as a backup in case of mass extinction or agricultural collapse. But access? Strictly forbidden to the public. Only scientists and select researchers are allowed inside, and even they must follow strict protocols. The Doomsday Vault isn't just a storage facility, it's a lifeline for future generations, a chilling reminder that while we may not know what's coming, we're preparing for the worst. Number 4. Bouvet Island. If loneliness had a capital, Bouvet Island would be it. This icy, uninhabited speck in the South Atlantic is officially the most remote island on Earth, over 1,600 miles from the nearest landmass. You can forget about Wi-Fi, rescue teams, or even basic human contact. It's just you, glaciers, and the occasional penguin. Despite its isolation, Bouvet Island has a strange and eerie history. In 1964, an abandoned lifeboat was mysteriously discovered on its shores, with no sign of passengers, no wreckage, and no explanation. To this day, no one knows how it got there. Classified as a nature reserve by Norway, the island is strictly protected, with only a handful of scientists allowed to visit. Its untouched landscape offers a rare glimpse into Earth's extreme environments, but for the rest of us, Bouvet remains a frozen enigma, silent, unclaimed, and utterly unforgiving. Number 3. Poveglia Island. Venice is all about romance, gondolas, and breathtaking views. Poveglia? Not so much. Just a short boat ride from the city, this abandoned island is straight out of a horror movie. Once used as a plague quarantine zone where the sick were left to die, Poveglia later became home to a psychiatric hospital rumored to have housed twisted experiments and tormented souls. The result? One of the most haunted places on Earth. Today, the island is completely off-limits. The Italian government has banned visitors due to safety concerns, though let's be real, it's probably the ghosts keeping people away. Locals claim you can still hear the cries of plague victims and the whispers of former patients. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, Poveglia's dark past is undeniable. It's a place where history lingers, shadows whisper, and even the bravest explorers think twice before stepping foot. All right, guys, now let's move to Number 2. Heard Island. If nature had a Do Not Disturb sign, it would be plastered all over Heard Island. Sitting in the middle of the southern Indian Ocean, this volcanic landmass is one of the most remote and inhospitable places on Earth. The only residents? Seals, penguins, and a whole lot of wind. Dominating the island is Big Ben, an active volcano wrapped in glaciers that occasionally erupts just to remind the world it exists. But here's the catch. Getting to Heard Island is nearly impossible. The journey takes weeks by boat, and once you arrive, you're met with brutal winds, constant mist, and absolutely zero signs of civilization. The Australian government has restricted access to protect its fragile ecosystem, allowing only a handful of scientists to visit under strict regulations. For most of us, Heard Island will remain a place of mystery, an untouched relic of Earth's raw beauty, a reminder that some frontiers are meant to stay wild. Number 1. Surtsey, Iceland. Most islands have been around for millions of years. But Surtsey? It's younger than your grandparents. This volcanic island was born in 1963 after an undersea eruption off the southern coast of Iceland. One day, it was nothing but ocean, and the next, it was a steaming newborn landmass, rising from the waves in a fiery display of nature's raw power. Named after Surtur, a fire giant from Norse mythology, Surtsey quickly became a natural laboratory for scientists studying how life colonizes brand new land. Over the years, it's been fascinating to watch. Plants, insects, and birds slowly claiming the once barren landscape. To keep it pristine, public access is strictly forbidden, with only a handful of researchers allowed to visit. In many ways, Surtsey is a time capsule of nature in its purest form, untouched, evolving, and a reminder that the Earth is still very much alive, creating and reshaping itself in ways we can only observe from a distance. If you find this video touching, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content like this. Thanks for tuning in with us, and we'll see you in the next.